And welcome back to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track. We're moments away from opening ceremonies getting underway. Before that, much like we did last year, we've got a special guest up here in the booth. It is NASCAR weekend, of course. Last year we had Kyle Busch up here. This year, Carson Hocevar is going to be doing some color commentary up here. Carson, it's great to have you up here because of the big storyline that happened in the offseason with Giovanni Salzi joining High Limit with Spire Motorsports and Chili's. And last night, what a start for those guys. A podium run, led 17 laps of the feature. They're off to a pretty good start as, I guess you could say, your teammate, huh?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's it's going to be great. It's been fun to have somebody to root for. I know we watch a lot of dirt racing. We watch a lot of it on Flo, and we've never really had anybody to truly root for that's like our own guy, so it's been really fun, and Gio's did a really good job. The pressure's on him, though, because none of us were here yesterday when he ran really well. Now the expectation, I think, is higher for them, and then, I think we got about, 20, 30 NASCAR crew guys, and then also Chili's people here, so pressure's on him tonight.
We'll see what he can do. Obviously, third last night, led a bunch of laps. We'll see if he can go any better. But you watched the highlights last night. You've probably watched a lot of dirt races, of course. But how much have you done the announcing thing? Right? I think you did Chili Bowl, right, like one time or something. But how much experience do you have at this, or is this kind of like you don't really know what to expect?
Yeah, I've done a few NASCAR races, and then the Chili Bowl, and then a few dirt late model races at times. But I'm a little too tall for a sprint car and a little too uncomfortable, and I feel like I'm at home in a dirt late model when I could drive. But here, I appreciate you letting me come up here and get the best seat in the house for this tonight, and I'm excited to see what we can do tonight.
Yeah, it should be fun. Carson Hocevar will be up here all night long calling the racing action for Interstate Batteries High Limit Racing. Now and welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track. We're ready for heat race action. The first heat race is brought to you by the folks at TJ Forged Wheels. Here is the lineup for heat race number 1 on the pole. Out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma, it's the Casey Kane race with Mike Curb, Napa, Brumos Collection, Ballard Products, Carver Corporation, number 9 of Jason Persley. And outside of him, starting in the second spot from St. Helena, California, the Tony Stewart, Curb-Agajanian Racing, CarQuest, Sugar Bee Apple, ArcZone.com, Pacific Born, number 24, Rico Abreu. Starting third from Jacksonville, Oregon, driving the Jugo Superfoods, Bella Alante Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, Juniata Concrete, number 13, it's Jason Persley. And his outside, your fast time qualifier once again here tonight out of Clovis, California, it's the Trex Decking, Weyerhaeuser, Autry Plumbing, Four Seas Construction, Myers Constructors, number 14 of Payday, Corey Day. Starting fifth from Charlotte, North Carolina, and the Monster Energy, Oakley, PristineAuction.com, number 84, Ty Gibbs. And his outside from Santa Rosa, California, it's the Graham Rahal Performance, Dirt Dudes Excavating, all about fire protection, Brad Alexander Suspension, number 19, H of Joel Myers Jr. Your seventh starter, another Rookie of the Year contender out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma, the Michael Dutcher Motorsports, Lifestyle Homes, Big Rig Repair of Indiana, Avanti Industries, Parallax Group, number 17 GP, Hank Davis. And his outside starting in 8th from Sykeston, Missouri, it's the MPE Inland Rigging, Shurcan, Beelman Motorsports, King Racing Products, 73 of Hunter Schurenberg. And the final starter in this one is from East Grand Forks, Minnesota, the Proceed, JW Repair, Ekman Dental Arts, Phil Thompson and Associates, number G5, Gage Polkerbeck. TJ Forged only builds forged aluminum wheels using proprietary tooling and exclusive manufacturing processes that clearly elevate their wheels above the competition. Product quality, product safety, and exceptional customer service is what they do. They lead where others follow. Don't settle for close enough. That is TJ Forged. Now, race fans, if this is your first time here tonight, each heat race will be 8 laps in distance. The top 5 finishers after 8 laps will go to the A-Main, and 2 cars will go to the Dash. One of them will be the heat race winner. The other will be the fastest qualifier to finish inside the top 5. That driver is Corey Day. He will start 4th. The fastest qualifier in the heats inverted to 4th. As long as they stay in that top 5, they will go to the Dash. So, Carson, are you ready to get going here? Are you feeling pretty confident in your abilities?
Yeah, I'm excited. We're going to see. Hopefully I can, work myself into it. Got a lot of heat races, got a lot of racing that, similar to this racetrack at times, you got to burn it in a little bit.
Absolutely do. Yeah, the track's in pretty good shape here for heat race action. 3 and 4, pretty wide down there. That was the voice of Carson Hocevar, of course, NASCAR Cup driver on Sundays. He'll be running over at Las Vegas' big track later on this weekend. HendrickCars.com pace truck making its way around the racetrack. We should go green the next time by in TJ Forged heat race number 1. And Carson, we're talking, off mic, and it seems like you keep up with this stuff pretty good. You kind of know who the players are.
Yeah, that's literally why I feel like we have a sprint car now, is because I've blown up Jeff, my my boss, at 3 a.m. watching Flo night, between late models and sprint cars, I know all the key players and everything that eventually we just wanted to be a part of it. So it's been fun, and I always enjoy it, and it's such easy access to keep up with it now.
And I was telling you about the format a little bit. You're like, oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I just forgot. But you know the format. That's good. You pay attention to Interstate Batteries High Limit. We love that. As we're coming to green this time by the pace truck into the infield, and it leaves the field in the hands of Dason Pursley, last year's Rookie of the Year and last year's champion, alongside Rico Abreu. The winner going to the dash, or maybe Corey Day can get up there and snatch the ace in the hole as we come to the green. A little sideways on the start there for Pursley, and around the outside comes Rico. He's going to show the way to turn 1 and have the race lead off of turn number 2. Back behind Corey Day, getting by Joel Myers Jr., and he slots into the 4th spot.
Yeah, that's a big launch, big move for Rico there as he hooks to the top, but battle for 4th right now. It's Corey Day trying to get a launch off turn 4 as he heads down to the front.
Joel Myers Jr. looking pretty solid there. Got up next to Day, but now he's getting challenged by Hunter Schoenberg. Schoenberg right behind him. He'll poke his nose to the inside down the back straightaway. Racing for that final transfer spot. 100% big slide job in turns 3 and 4. That's a battle for the last transfer spot. Schoenberg's got it across the line.
Schoenberg already up 2 there to get to 5th. Ty Gibbs right now fall back, but yeah, Schoenberg, that's a big move there to get into that final transfer spot.
Well, your co-compadre on Sundays, Ty Gibbs, I think he's just hoping to make it past the heat race here tonight after what happened here one night ago. He's running back there in the 8th position. Back up front, maybe a little bit of a battle developing here between Dason Pursley and the car that he drove last year. Tanner Holmes right behind him. Has Pursley a little bit over the banking right there. He makes a mistake, and Holmes is right in his back pocket here.
Yeah, Holmes maybe looking to maybe make a slider. There he goes. Going to be able to have to hit the bottom there, and Pursley backing away. Kind of gives himself some breathing room as even Corey Day tries to hunt down Tanner Holmes here.
Yeah, it's tough in 1 and 2 to make those sliders happen. We've seen most of the moves happen on this side of the racetrack in 3 and 4 so far this week, and Corey Day is closing in on Tanner Holmes. Not a pass that he needs to make, of course. As long as he stays in that 4th spot, he will be a part of the dash. This time by Rico Abreu. We'll have 2 laps to go, and Carson has got a 2.5 second lead the last time by.
Yeah, literally super fast as Corey Day tries to make a move and slips through the grip, but able to circle back a little high there into 1. But yeah, looking good here though. Still that 14 machine.
Yep, Corey Day still sitting in 4th. Hunter Schoenberg has distanced himself from Joel Myers Jr. No battle for that final transfer spot as Rico comes across the line. The white flag is out for him. 1 lap to go around the Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track. Everybody else pretty spread out. Normal heat race stuff here at Las Vegas. We come to the checker this time by. It will be Rico getting the win. 2nd will be Pursley. A battle for 3rd off of turn 4 will go to Tanner Holmes. Corey Day 4th, and Hunter Schoenberg final transfer spot in the 5th position.
Yeah, Rico able to open it up even more. 3.1 seconds right there. That's really impressive, especially with boss man Tony, right? I think he was a little light yesterday, but for him to show up here, this is the Rico I'm used to watching here on Flo.
Yeah, Rico 7th place here last night, of course, with a 3.1 second lead. He will get the win. Dason Pursley 2nd, Tanner Holmes in 3rd, Corey Day 4th. He will also go to the dash with Abreu, and Schoenberg the final transfer spot in 5th. Joel Myers Jr., Hank Davis, Ty Gibbs, and Gage Polkerbeck will be the finishing rundown here in this first heat race presented by the folks at TJ Forged Wheels. And I believe our interview here is going to be one of our Rookie of the Year contenders, and that is going to be Tanner Holmes, the driver out of Jacksonville, Oregon, driving for Tom Book and Book Motorsports in that Jugo Superfoods. Number 13, he ends up in the 3rd spot. That'll set him up pretty nicely for the feature later on tonight, Tony.
He's not just one of our Rookie of the Year contenders, Chase. He's one of our Race Routine Foundation Rookie of the Year contenders. Tanner Holmes talked about it last night. He has dotted the country the last few years, running a pick and choose kind of schedule. But now you got to commit to a calendar. How tough is that to adjust from going wherever you want to having a points chase here in 2026?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously everyone always talks about points, but for us, we're just really trying to take this whole thing one race at a time. 60-plus races is a lot of shows, and we're obviously going to go to a lot of different racetracks and lots of opportunities just for us to continue to grow together, being a young pairing. So just want to thank Book Motorsports, thank Jerry Petty for his support, Glenn with Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, and all of our great partners. So, we're really getting better each night, just working on consistency and finding our flow.
Trying to find our flow live here on Flow. I like that. Tanner Holmes, he's what you call a sponsor's dream. He's also positive life coaching, talking about getting lots of chances to grow together. Can't wait to see what he and Sean Strasbaugh do with that Buick number 13 the rest of this year.
Certainly has a bright future ahead of him, that is for sure. DMI Racing Components is the sponsor of heat race number 2. Here is the lineup here in this one. On the pole from Fresno, California, it's the Chili's, Spire Motorsports, Carmen Trucking, Ziegler Auto Group, Gamebridge, number 77 of Hot Sauce, Giovanni Scelzi. Outside of him, starting in the second spot from St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, the Maxim Trucking, TK Concrete, Logan Contractor Supply, Rexco Equipment, Zip Bonds, number 55, it's the Madman, Kerry Madsen. And starting in the third position from Higginsville, Missouri, and the Casey's MVP, Andy's Frozen Custard, Impact Signs, Dittsville Transfer, Wilkerson Crane Riddle, number 21B, Blackjack, Brian Brown. Starting fourth from Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia, and the American Rock and Rent, Tarleton and Son, Toyota Racing, Durst Incorporated, number 21 of James McFadden. Starting fifth from Waco, Texas, driving the Bush's Chicken, Two Worlds Equestrian, Kaiser Wheels, Outlaw Wings, Smith Titanium, number 9 are the Quickest Chicken, Chase Randall. And his outside, starting in the sixth position from Templeton, California, it's the ShopCaleb.com, David Cry Engineering, Woodland Auto Display, the Pit Room, number 3 of Caleb Montgomery. Starting seventh from Aromas, California, in the MitchReconstruction.com, Yuba Sutter Aviation, North County Plastering, Triple X Chassis, number 2X, Justin Sanders. And the final starter for this one out of Tempe, Arizona, in the SCR Machine, Johnson Built Concrete 34, Sterling Kling. DMI Race Components are built with the precision of skilled machinists and the common sense of winning racers. Located in the heart of central Pennsylvania, you can find us every week participating in the sport we love. You race, we race, let's race together. That is DMI Racing Components. Carson, I've got a feeling you got one guy you're really going to be paying attention to here a lot.
I was just saying, I might have a little bit of bias here
in this one, yeah.
of who I'm hoping able to get it done, but I'm hoping that he was able to pay attention to Heat 1 with, obviously, Dason Persley kind of slipping up there and the top being, the dominant lane there on that restart. Hopefully he can get himself a good start here. It
is possible. There could be some grease still on the very inside of the racetrack, and that is maybe what tripped up Persley on that initial start. And it looks like Gio, he heard you. He's going to choose. He's going to use the new high limit rule that was implemented last year. The pole sitter in the heat race can actually go to the top if they choose so, and that's only on the initial start. So we'll see if it works out for him, huh?
Perfect. Well, we're already hopefully one choose to the kid right here, and hopefully we can get stacking good decisions here for 8 laps.
Yeah, him and Kerry Madsen front row. Madsen was 8th in the feature last night. Of course, Gio, we talked about him. He was 3rd in the feature. Keep an eye on James McFadden. Starts 4th. As long as he's in the top 5, he is going to tonight's dash. The green flag is out. A little tight there on the start, but a good jump on the inside for Kerry Madsen, and a little bit of a short slider into the corner right there, and the Madman is going to have the race lead as McFadden makes his way by Brian Brown into 3rd.
Yeah, it looked like Gio just was probably a little too low there and just didn't get a good launch, but able to try to hopefully mount a charge here as he runs 2nd.
Kerry Madsen, we mentioned it, he was 8th. He was in the dash last night, and the Madman has got a lot of laps around here. He's led some races here in the past, has never went to victory lane. Maybe that can change tonight. Race for 3rd appears to be shaping up. James McFadden down low, Brian Brown on the top. Looks like McFadden's going to keep that car pointed right there in the grip off of turn number 4 and pulls away from Brownie a little bit.
Yeah, McFadden looked like the best car that I've seen in these 2 heat races around the bottom. Gets good drive off of 4. We'll see if he does it again here. He'll go down to the bottom. Everybody else though rounding the top.
We saw the top, or make that the bottom, excuse me, the place where Kyle Larson went to victory lane here one night ago. And we've already got 2 lanes here in the heat races, which is always a good sign, allowing drivers to try and make their way up through and get to a transfer. Speaking of the transfer, Chase Randall, the quickest chicken, currently has it. We got a car off the pace on the backstretch. That is Caleb Montgomery. I believe he's going to make it to the infield, and we should stay green here with 4 laps completed.
Yeah, just everybody really around the top. Your top 4 especially spread out. Chase Randall kind of in a safe spot, but Justin Sanders not too far behind right now.
Justin Sanders, of course, a winner last year with High Limit Racing at the Placerville Speedway. He is closing in, though, as Randall changes the lineup, tries to run the bottom, and Sanders has got the cushion wired off of turn number 4. Taking a look at the lap times, it looks like Sanders was a tick faster, potentially, than the quickest chicken. He's got a couple more laps to try and reel him in, though. We'll keep our eye on it.
Yeah, Randall making a lane change. Actually might be on the offense rather than defense. Rolls the bottom, able to get side by side, actually getting able to front of Brian Brown down into 1.
Yeah, Chase Randall, a slide job right there in turn 2. He's going to put Brian Brown now on the bump spot, and that is going to bring Brian Brown back to Justin Sanders. Sanders goes to the inside. Here is a huge slider from downtown Las Las Vegas. He's going to take the final transfer spot down the front straightaway.
2 laps down, 2 spots right there for Brian Brown. Able to make a little bit of a charge from Sanders' mistake, though, as they come around to the checkered flag.
And Gio gets close to Carey, but Madsen will hang on for the win. Gio second, James McFadden third, fourth goes to Randall and Justin Sanders. With the white flag waving, able to make his way by Brian Brown and into that final transfer spot. Exciting stuff in DMI Racing Components Heat Race number 2. Carey Madsen gets the win, and he's going to tonight's dash. Giovanni Scelzi second, James McFadden in third. He will also be a part of tonight's dash. Chase Randall fourth, and Justin Sanders pulls a rabbit out of the hat right there and is able to make his way by Brian Brown for the last transfer spot. Brownie, Kling, and Montgomery will be going to tonight's B-Main, and you knew we were going to talk to him after that wild move. He slid Brian Brown from halfway down the back straightaway. Justin Sanders put on a show for the fans here tonight, Tony.
Well, you may have known we were going to talk to him, but Justin Sanders didn't know. He had to stomp on the brakes and make the quick left-hand turn. All right, yesterday you told me you are capable of winning any night out here with Interstate Batteries High Limit Racing. How do you feel about your race car, and what was it like as it kind of came to you very late there in that second heat race?
Yeah, I don't know if we're capable right now. We still got a lot of work to do. We were pretty good last night, but just off tonight, and honestly was just driving as hard as I could and knew I had to get a couple spots. And when Brownie left that door open, I knew this was my only chance, so I just drove in there as hard as I could. And yeah, I don't know. We'll just keep working on it, but at least we got it in the show.
Hey, Nick Petruzzi says, what up, all right? He is watching back home in California. Justin Sanders let the race come to him. And Chase, remember how good Sanders did when he filled in for Aaron Reitzel, not only here on night 1 of the season last year after Aaron Reitzel got injured, but when he stepped into that car on the West Coast and picked up a victory for that team at Placerville. Justin Sanders doing a good job back in the midstream machine.
Justin Sanders, 16 wins in the sprint car last year. As we continue on now to heat race number 3. On the pole of this one from Indianapolis, Indiana, driving the NOS Energy Drink, Spire Motorsports, Elliott's Custom Trailers, Brand Professional Agriculture, Gainbridge. Number 7 BC, that is Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. And it was outside, starting in the second position, out of Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Mosinus Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Hollywood Blasting Coating, Mav Motorsports, number 42, Cy Lynch. Rolling off in the third spot from Monrovia, Indiana, it's the Skagit Speedway, Race Redeem Foundation, Hager Realty, Stancraft Jet Center, Angel of the Winds Casino, number 26, Justin Peck. And to his outside, last night's feature winner from Elk Grove, California, in the all-by-your alternative, HendrickCars.com, JBI Group, Finley Farms, Focus Brothers Trucking, FloRacing, number 57, Young Money, Kyle Larson. Starting in the 5th spot from Lincoln, California, behind the wheel of the California Waterfowl, TC Guide Service, CVC Concrete, K1 Race Gear 83T, it's Tanner Carrick. And starting in the 6th position in his high-limit racing debut, the 16-year-old from Sacramento, California, the CR Wood Motorsports, Lightfoot Automotive, Morgan Precision Roofing, Flying A Trailers, number 2A, Austin Wood. Starting at 7th out of Quilcene, Washington, it's the number 6 of JJ Hickle. And his outside from Hanford, California, the Netto Ag, Penny Newman Grain, Vanderpool Petroleum, Mechanics Choice Oil, 88N DJ Netto. And the final starter in this one from Bozeman, Montana, in the Rockin' R Restaurant, Sherboat Suspension, ART Enterprises, Don Vanzuela's Auto Body, number 3C, Cole Schroeder. When it comes to buying sprint car parts, there's only one place to shop, and that is BR Motorsports. With over 250,000 parts in stock, BR Motorsports only sells the best parts by the best manufacturers like King Racing Products, MSD Ignition, Kaiser Wheels, and Triple X Chassis. They are the sponsor of Heat Race number 3. Can you imagine being 16 years old? And this is Austin Wood in the 2A. He's an up-and-comer. He ran the Chili Bowl this year. This is his second ever 410 start, and it comes on a half mile. Could you imagine doing that when you were 16?
Probably not, but it seems like that's par for the course. I just remind myself, I was racing late models at like 12 or 13, yeah. And now I go back and look at that, and I'm just like, man, they're crazy for putting. And then I forget. I was like, wait, like 5, however long years ago now. I was like, oh, that was me. So never mind. So
yeah.
So I try not to judge too much anymore.
Austin Wood going to start 6th in this one. He certainly has a bright future ahead of him. Just picked up a win last Saturday night at Silver Dollar Speedway.
He's got a good guy to lean off of or learn from right in front of him here on this heat, though. Yeah,
if he could follow Kyle Larson, he might be in good shape here. He's going to be starting right outside of a transfer spot there. We'll see what happens. Tyler Courtney, Cy Lynch, the front row here in this one, coming to the chalk stripe in turn number 4. Heat race number 3 is green.
Yeah, Tyler Courtney able to make a lane change again down to the bottom, but Cy Lynch able to throw A little bit of a slider, not able to close it off. Tyler Courtney off 2.
Good move there by Sunshine to maintain the race lead. Cy Lynch is back in second. Big move out of Justin Peck. He'll get by 2 cars in 1 corner. Justin Peck, what a move to get by Cy Lynch and Kyle Larson.
I thought it might be all for naught as Larson almost tried to make a charge down the front, but he'll settle into 3rd as they go down the backstretch.
Justin Peck, what a move there to get by 2 cars, and the sliders are where you want to, or the sliders are coming in 3 and 4. That's where you want to make that move. Peck over the cushion, almost gets into the wall, allows Kyle Larson to close in. Larson goes to the cushion. Now a diamond maneuver off the corner, tries to pull up next to Peck, can't do it, as back behind them it looks like Tanner Carrick in the final transfer spot.
Yeah, Peck must have learned, obviously, from Justin Sanders. This is going to run the bottom, though. Going to get stuck here in the middle. Larson with another charge down into 1.
Oh boy, here comes another slider for that 3rd position. Kyle Larson takes it away from Justin Peck. Peck crosses him up. He'll take the 3rd spot back away down the back straightaway. And with a front row seat to that is Tanner Carrick. He's trying to close in and improve his feature starting position, but Justin Peck and Kyle Larson are waging war in heat race number 3.
Yeah, Peck able to cover. They both kind of half sliders down into 1 and 2. Larson all around, now gets 4 in the fluff as Peck starts to roll away.
Tyler Courtney, no problems up front for him to lead the last time by 1.5 seconds over Cy Lynch, as here comes Tanner Carrick off the bottom. We've seen that bottom be good in 3 and 4, specifically Carson, and he's trying to get involved here with Kyle Larson and Justin Peck for 4th and 3rd.
Yeah, he's got no pressure here behind him, but just trying to improve this finishing spot in the heat to try and advance his starting spot for the feature as Larson tries to do a little bit of what Peck was doing, but all out front, Tyler Courtney, 1.7 second lead.
2 laps to go. He's coming to the wave of the white this time by. Looks like Peck and Larson have settled their differences, and they've kind of spaced out from each other just a little bit. As they say that, Larson drives it in deep and pulls up next to Peck, lets him know I'm not going away. The white flag is up in the air, 1 to go for Tyler Courtney, who won the B-Main last night, finished 17th in the feature. Not the way that he wanted to start off his year, but he's going to turn around here tonight, and he's going to win heat race number 3. Cy Lynch come across the line in 2nd. Justin Peck, he was exciting, runs 3rd. Kyle Larson 4th, and Tanner Carrick is the final transfer spot.
Yeah, something I was noticing in 3 and 4, they were kind of sliding all the way up and then getting stuck in the fluff, but there's actually a little bit of moisture there in 4 that Larson was trying to half slide and catch his right rear end.
I don't know if you've ever walked the track here or whatever, but where they are running on the top right there, Carson, it actually shelves off quite a bit. So if they get over the top of that, we saw it last night. A lot of guys had issues with that. So it is a fine line on the top, specifically in turns 3 and 4. You do not want to make a mistake there. But Justin Peck, much like Justin Sanders, it must be a Justin thing. He was the show in BR Motorsports heat race number 3.
Chase Rodman, I agree with you wholeheartedly that Justin Peck was in fact the show. The box score will show that he started 3rd and finished 3rd, but it was a wildly entertaining race. Brother, that move down into 3 and 4, that was what I call big Peck energy. Then you go throwing elbows with Larson. Was that any fun out there?
It'd be more fun if it was for a dash spot, but it's just one of those deals, man. We feel like we've hot-lapped really well 2 days in a row and just haven't qualified very good. And you get qualify 7th or 8th, you got to start 3rd, and you're not in the dash unless you win one of these things. So I don't know. It's just Brandon and A-Rod and Travis and Butch are working pretty hard back there. And like I said, I feel like our package is pretty close, but when you got to do that, for 5 laps, the whole field gets away from you. So we'll go back and try to get this thing just a little bit better. That way we're trying to make it better. Just that way we don't have to try to pass guys for 5 laps. Hopefully we can just pass it once and be done with it.
I know he didn't enjoy it, but Justin Peck was out there popping them things. That was pretty entertaining to watch. 3rd to 3rd, but you took the words right out of my mouth, Chase. The 26 was the show. That's just why they call him Big Peck Energy. I don't know what to tell you.
That is certainly where the nickname comes from as we continue on with our final heat race of the night presented by Rod & Supply. Here is the lineup from Northport, Florida. He's on the pole for the Global Link, Moxie Sports Advisors, GSR Racing, CSI Shocks, Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps, number 24D. It is the Florida man, Danny Sams III. Outside of him, starting 2nd from Altoona, Iowa, the Country Builders Construction, Ochoco West, Tucker Trucking, Moss Brothers Powder Coating, number 88W, the Big Unit, Austin McCarl. Starting 2nd from Minden, Nevada, it's the JST Motorsports, Smith Titanium Factory Cane, Maximum Racing Oils, Mesilla Valley Transportation, number 88, Tanner Thorson. To his outside, out of Clute, Texas, driving the Fulkins Brothers Trucking Power Plus, Brian Paper Motorsports, STC Monty Farms, number 87, it's Aaron Reitzel. And starting from 5th, out of Cobble Hill, British Columbia, Canada. In the Saratoga Motorsports Park, Cow Creek, Malahat Auto Wrecking, Shark Racing Engines. Number 21P, it's Robbie Price. To his outside, it's the defending Knoxville Nationals champion out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The all-by-your alternative, Joel Pitch and Trucking, Hampel Oil, CP Excavating, Raw Machinery. Number 10, Ryan Timms. Your 7th starter is from Myerstown, Pennsylvania. He's in the Warrior Buildings, McGrewBid.com, Baps Paint, Livewire Customs, Fenton Marks Racing Development. Number 19, it's Brent Marks. And to his outside from Lubbock, Texas, in the Horizon Whiskey, Nice Cretan Landis, PhilPools.com, High Performance Lubricants, RV Ranch. Number 5, Brenham Crouch. The final starter in this one is from Fort Collins, Colorado, in the BG Automotive, Simpson Race Products, BR Motorsports, Schaefer's Oil. Number 16G, Austin Gossel. 8 laps. Rod and Supply has the unique opportunity to be involved in all sorts of industries. Whether you're running a go-kart, micro, mini sprint, midget, modified, late model sprint, or a tractor, Rod and Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, bearings, and specialty products that will help you lead the field and perform at your maximum potential. Be going green the next time by in our final heat race of the night. Who do you got your eyes on in this one, Carson?
Man, I really like Danny Sams. I grew up with him racing quarter midgets, and he's turned into a really good sprint car racer. I got to talk with him last year here, and they've done a really, really good job. He even won a race. So, I'm excited to see what they could do, and obviously starting in a good spot here to start his year off right.
And a great nickname. The Florida Man. I mean, that's a pretty good one.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It could mean anything, though. So
it really could, yeah. He's lined up next to Austin McCarl, the big unit, they call him, in that red number 88.
I don't know if I'd love that nickname as much.
I kind of like that one. I mean, he's a tall guy. I think that's why they do that. Yeah,
well, as long as it's tall, you know.
Yeah. He's about as tall as I am, 6'5" or 6'6" or something like that. We're coming to green this time as the jock stripe in turn number 4 is where they will accelerate. And it looks like it will be Danny Sams with a good start there. He's going to jump out with the race lead. Tanner Thor's car around front straightaway. Brent Marks is going backwards and will stop in turn 1. Did not see what happened there. Brent Marks, as he goes around. We'll see what happens here on the replay, Carson. See what happens. 3 wide.
It just looks like Crouch just got left a little bit and, contacted around.
Yeah, so it looks like Brent Marks is going to continue on. Actually, no, he's still stopped down there, but about to get pushed off by a safety vehicle. Sounds like we may need some security up here to the top of the grandstands just in front of the announcer's booth. If we can get security up here to the announcer's booth, just in front of the announcer's booth here in the main grandstands, that would be great. As Brent Marks will get fired back off. He did get some airtime there, so hopefully not too much damage to that car. And Marks' night started off in a rough way as he did not get the hot lap and then kind of went out late in qualifying there and got put in a bad spot. And now he's going to have to roll off from last place in this one. Going to have to pick up at least 4 positions. Try it again, Danny Sams and Austin McCarl coming to the green off of turn number 4. We are underway.
Good restart from Danny Sams, but Thorson able to roll to second there.
And he's going to look for a dash spot here if he can get by Danny Sams. Austin McCarl, big run on Thorson. He'll point the car to the bottom down the back straightaway, takes the second spot back away. Good race for the 5th position. Robbie Price, Ryan Timms, and Aaron Reitzel try to go 3 wide off of turn 4.
Yeah, 3 all on top of each other, really tight off turn 4 as Timms looks to try to be the big winner of it as he's going to roll to 4th off turn 2.
And Reitzel gets a little sideways there due to the air taken off of his wing. Reitzel's in trouble. He's got to stay in that top 5, Carson, or he will not make the dash. He's got Robbie Price right behind him, along with Brenham Crouch and Brent Marks.
I was going to say, Reitzel with a big mistake, though, falls over that shelf we were talking about. Now on offense now, trying to get back to 5th there for the transfer spot.
Robbie Price giving him all he can handle as Price is going to try and look to the bottom side of the racetrack down here in turns 3 and 4. Brenham Crouch not too far back there as well. 3-car race for that 5th position. Only one of them is going to transfer, and Robbie Price to the inside once again of Aaron Reitzel, trying to knock him out of a dash spot.
Yeah, Robbie Price trying to make something happen there on the bottom, but difficult to make it happen as Reitzel too fast around the top right now. But Reitzel gets a little tight there through 3 and 4.
Danny Sams comes across the line, and Ryan Timms into the wall. That's going to allow Reitzel to go by. Oh, Timms at the broken front end. He's hard on the wall in turn 1. Ryan Timms for the front end was folded up all the way down the front stretch, I think it looked like.
Started off turn 4. He got over that shelf we've been just talking about, and then, kind of flew the nose trying to keep it off the wall, and then, Reitzel was right there and then folded that nose under.
Yeah, we'll have to see a replay here presented by Comp Cams. Ryan Timms running inside of a transfer spot in 4th there when that incident took place. That is a big blessing for Reitzel, who was really on defense there trying to fend off both Robbie Price and Brenham Crouch. Here's a look at the replay. Gets over the cushion and looked like he was okay there.
Yeah, you'll see it here, though. He'll just fly the nose right there, and then he's just left trying to maybe protect a little bit.
And then Reitzel broke the front end. Okay,
right there, hold it under.
Yep, and he gets into the wall very hard. So Shane Liebig and that team going to have to go to work to repair him and get him back out here later on for the B main. That is the 2025 Knoxville Nationals champion, the biggest race in sprint car racing. Last year, I believe, paid $195,000, and it was a crazy story because Ryan Timms had never even made the Knoxville Nationals main event before and led all 50 laps, absolutely dominated the field on that one. Of course, went on later in the year to win the Tuscarora 50 with Interstate Batteries Highlander Racing at Port Royal Speedway. But your buddy Danny Sam's doing a pretty good job here.
Yeah, he looked good, but he's not going to love that caution. He had a little bit of a decent lead, decent buffer. Now he's going to have Thorson right all over his bumper.
Yeah, he certainly is. Tony Laporta, what do you got?
Well, I was going to say I agree with Carson, especially when you saw how aggressive Thorson was on the initial start, the one that got called back for Brent Marks going for a spin. Tanner Thorson has a comfortable race car underneath him thanks to father-in-law Stevie Smith being here in the pit. Watch for Thorson to be elbows up here with only 4 to go.
Obviously, he's got to get by Sams to get into that dash and get the win. We'll see what happens. Sams does get a good launch there, gets in the grip off turn 4. Yeah, and he puts about 3 car lengths on Thorson rolling into turn 1.
Yeah, Thorson going to be able to try to put together good laps here to maybe mount a charge, but back for 5th. Brennan Crouch maybe making a charge here into 3, slide job for 5th.
And a slider for 3rd as Aaron Reitzel goes across the nose of Austin McCarl. Reitzel takes 3rd. Robbie Price gets back by Brennan Crouch, who points the car to the bottom in turn number 1, slides right back in front of Robbie Price to take the final transfer spot away.
Crouch tried to turn left and just make Price tried to make left, but now he's on offense now for Brent Marks as Brent Marks tries to mount a charge here late.
Brent Marks, remember, he got into an incident on the very first lap of this race and got spun around. Robbie Price able to cross him back up and take back the 6th position. Marks trying to wire the cushion, closes back in on Robbie Price, but the time is running out. We're coming around this time by to the wave of the white flag. 1 to go for the Florida man, Danny Sams, as Marks and Price continue to go at each other back there for 6th.
Yeah, this is perfect for Crouch. It's exactly what he wants to know, what's happening behind him. They're racing, and he's long gone as Danny Sams rounds 3 and 4.
Here comes the Florida man. A change for 2nd, potentially about to happen in the final corner. Reitzel slides in front of Thorson. Thorson crosses him up, takes that 2nd spot at the line, but it's all about Danny Sams in this one. He will get the win in Rod and Supply Heat Race number 4. Your results from the 4th heat race. Danny Sams will get the win, and he will go to tonight's dash. Tanner Thorson 2nd. 3rd goes to Aaron Reitzel. He will also go to the dash. Austin McCarl 4th, and Brenham Crouch in 5th. Rest of the field, Brent Marks, Robbie Price, Austin Gossel, and Ryan Timms. Brenham Crouch had to do some work there. Started 8th on the field. He makes his way into the top 5 plus 3, Tony. He'll be a part of tonight's A main.
That heat race was wild and woolly. You needed 3 sets of eyes and 2 heads to keep up with everything that was going on in that one. I wonder if a driver who competed in it would feel the same way. Brenham Crouch losing that very cool Horizon Whiskey helmet. That was something. First off, tell us about the contact on the start with Brent Marks, and then walk me through the rest of that chaotic heat.
Yeah, it was completely unintentional. Like the 10 car, everybody was kind of just wonky down the front stretch, and I was just trying to stay out of harm's way the best I could, and Brent was just kind of there, and he was just kind of victim of circumstance, and I apologize for that, but I kind of put us in a hole, and I needed to make it up to my guys, and we got to 6. I was like, I don't really know where the 21's going, but we're going where he's not, and just going to try to keep as much air on the board as we can and see what we can do. We're 2 for 2 for getting out of tough situations, so hopefully we can make it a little easier on ourselves and put this thing up front, give us a better chance.
Brenham Crouch, the young driver from the great state of Texas, goes 8th to 5th with some battle scars on the left sideboard of that top wing. He says he didn't know where Robbie Price was going, so he was going to go where he wasn't. That is my kind of strategy, especially when I'm in line at the buffet.
That is definitely a great strategy to have, Tony. Thank you very much. We've got more heat racing action coming up here in just a few moments. The USCS Sprint Cars will hit the racetrack for their heats. We'll take a break here on Flow and come right back. Speedway Dirt Track on night 2 of the Sugar Bee Blackjack Bash. Next up, as Gary mentioned, it is the FK Roddens Dash for Interstate Batteries Highland Racing. Here is a look at the starting lineup for this 7-lap dash. On the pole from Indianapolis, Indiana, driving the NOS Energy Drink, Spire Motorsports, Elliott's Custom Trailers, Brand Professional Agriculture, Gainbridge number 7 BC. It is Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. And his outside at Clute, Texas, the Falcons Brothers Trucking, Power Plus, Bryant Paver Motorsports, STC Monty Farms, number 87, Aaron Reitzel. The third starter in this one is from Northport, Florida, driving the Global Lake, Moxie Sports Advisors, GSR Racing, CSI Shocks, Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps. Number 24D, the Florida man, Danny Sams III. And his outside is last night's feature winner from Elk Grove, California, the all-by-your alternative, HendrickCars.com, JVI Group, Finley Farms, Falcons Brothers Trucking, FloRacing, number 57, Young Money, Kyle Larson. Starting in the 5th position out of St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, the Maxim Trucking, TK Concrete, Logan Contractor Supply, Rexco Equipment, Zip Bonds, number 55, the Madman, Kerry Madsen. To his outside out of Clovis, California, driving car number 14, it's the Trex Decking, Weyerhaeuser, Autry Plumbing, Four Seas Construction, Myers Constructors entry of Corey Day. And starting in 7th, inside the 4th row, out of Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia, the American Rock and Rent, Tarleton & Son, Toyota Racing, Durst Incorporated, number 21 of James McFadden. And the final starter in this one, the defending series champion with Interstate Batteries Highland Racing from St. Helena, California, the Tony Stewart, Kurt Agajanian Racing, CarQuest, Sugar Bee Apple, ArcZone.com, Pacific Boring, number 24, Rico Abreu. 8 cars, 7 laps. Where they finish in this race is where they will start tonight's A-main event. FK Roddens brings over 35 years of experience to the industrial performance racing and off-road markets. Established in 1983, FK Roddens has grown to become the preferred source for motion control products in nearly every industry. To learn more, visit them on social media, find them online at fkroddens.com. Carson Hocevar back up here in the booth. NASCAR Cup Series driver, will be seeing him on the track at the big Las Vegas Motor Speedway track on Sunday afternoon. Carson, we got the dash coming up here. Obviously, maybe one of the most important races of the night. Really set yourself up and give yourself a good chance to maybe win the race tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be important. I mean, it's no different than Cup racing. We talk about dirty air, clean air. Just being important. You have this really light race car with a lot of wing. It's going to be important to get that clean air on that wing and set sail as we saw in the heat races.
Of course, 900 horsepower, 1,425 pounds with the driver in the car. Power to weight ratio is just incredible in these cars, as Tyler Courtney, Aaron Reitzel, those two have been dueling for what feels like ages. Went back to the old All-Stars. Those two were winning championships left and right and having to battle each other a lot. The 7 BC and the 87, and they are two of the favorites to challenge Rico Abreu for this 2026 championship with Interstate Batteries Highland Racing. Then you got Danny Sams next to Kyle Larson in row number 2. Kerry Madsen is up there in row 3 next to Corey Day, along with James McFadden and Rico Abreu, the rest of the field. Chalk stripe in turn number 4. The FK Roddens Dash is about to be underway here at the Sugar Bee Blackjack Bash. We are green.
Reitzel with a big launch off turn 2 as he's going to take the lead, but almost Danny Sams being able to get Courtney there, but they're 3-4 car battle for third right now.
Yeah, here comes Kyle Larson. He sees an opening down low, going to try and slide in front of Danny Sams. As I say that, Larson actually runs the bottom of the racetrack and pulls up next to Tyler Courtney. Look at Kyle Larson off the bottom of turn number 4. That's where he won the race here last night. Gets by 2 cars in one fell swoop. Larson now gapping the 7 BC of Tyler Courtney and trying to close in on Aaron Reitzel. Back behind Danny Sams, Corey Day 3 wide with Rico Abreu in turn number 4.
Yeah, Rico Abreu able to get 2 for 1. That allowed Tyler Courtney able to get himself a good spot, but Corey Day, big slider there, able to get Rico, but Rico trying to mount a charge, being able to see it in 3.
Here he comes, Rico, big slider once again in turns 3 and 4, takes that spot back away from Payday. Corey Day back to the inside as Rico hopped over the cushion. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson appears to down Aaron Reitzel slightly, not close enough to make a move, however, as Rico and Day continue to go at it with each other in turns 3 and 4. Corey Day down low, Rico trying to build a run on the high side.
And Corey Day, a little bit of defense there, able to catch himself with a little bit of gap, but biggest winner of that battle was Tyler Courtney. Bad set of corners and able to fall back to third, but now able to give himself some breathing room with them racing behind him.
Bottom of the racetrack has appeared to really come into play here. They did do some track work there around the redraw wheel, and we see that coming into play. We've got the bottom being the main place, but we saw the top in the heat races. We'll see how long that bottom sticks around. This time by coming to the white flag, Aaron Reitzel, last night's 10th place finisher, trying to start on the pole of tonight's A-Main.
Yeah, it's going to be an important win for him as he's going to start in the front row, obviously, but bad news for the competition with Larson running second there and going to be able to get himself a good start spot for tomorrow.
Aaron Reitzel off of turn number 4. He is going to win the FK Rod-Ins Dash. Kyle Larson second, Tyler Courtney third, Corey Day fourth, and Rico Abreu in fifth. Take a look at the results here of the FK Rod-Ins Dash. Aaron Reitzel wins it by about 0.8 of a second over last night's feature winner Kyle Larson. Third to Tyler Courtney, fourth to Corey Day, fifth Rico Abreu, and the rest of the finishing order, James McFadden, Danny Sams, and Kerry Madsen. That is where they will start in tonight's A-Main event in the first 4 rows. Next up, it is the Winners Performance B-Main. It is the last opportunity for a driver to make the feature here tonight. 12 laps in distance. The top 4 finishers in this B-Main will then go on to the feature. Here is the starting lineup for tonight's Winners Performance B-Main. On the pole, he is from Higginsville, Missouri, the Casey's FVP, Andy's Frozen Custard, Impact Signs, Dittsville, Transfer, Wilkerson, Crane Riddle, number 21B of Blackjack, Brian Brown, and his outside another 21 car. It's the 21P of Robbie Price from Cobble Hill, British Columbia, Canada, in the Saratoga Motorsports Park, Cal Creek, Malahat Auto Wrecking, Shark Racing Engines, number 21P. Starting in the 3rd position from Santa Rosa, California, that is Joel Myers Jr. in the Graham Rahal Performance Dirt Dudes Excavating All About Fire Protection, Brad Alexander Suspension Entry, and his outside starting in 4th. Out of Hanford, California, the Netto Ag, Penny Newman Grain, Vanderpool Petroleum, Mechanics Choice Oil, number 88N DJ Netto. And starting from 5th, Rookie of the Year contender out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma, the Michael Dutcher Motorsports, Lifestyle Homes, Big Rig Repair of Indiana, Avanti Industries, Parallax Group, 17GP. It's Hank Davis, and his outside, it is Brent Marks. He is from Myerstown, Pennsylvania. Behind the wheel, the Warrior Buildings, McGrewBid.com, Baps Paint, Livewire Customs, Fenton Marks Racing Development, number 19. Starting in the 7th spot from Tempe, Arizona, it's the SCR Machine Johnson Built Concrete 34 of Sterling Kling, and his outside rolling off in the 8th spot, it'll be JJ Hickle from Quilcene, Washington in car number 6. Starting 9th from Charlotte, North Carolina, that'll be Ty Gibbs. He's in the Monster Energy Oakley, PristineAuction.com, number 84. And starting to his outside, the driver in his High Limit Racing debut here tonight out of Sacramento, California, the CR Wood Motorsports, Lightfoot Automotive, Morgan Precision Roofing, Flying A Trailers, number 2A of Austin Wood. And starting in the inside of row number 6 out of Templeton, California, the ShopCaleb.com, David Cry Engineering, Woodland Auto Display, the Pit Room, number 3, Caleb Montgomery. And starting in 12th out of Fort Collins, Colorado, BG Automotive, Simpson Race Products, BR Motorsports, Schaefer's Oil, number 16G of Austin Gossel. 7th row inside starter is going to be Gage Polkerbeck from East Grand Forks, Minnesota. In the Pro C, JW Repair, Ekman Dental Arts, Phil Thompson and Associates, number G5. And his outside out of Bozeman, Montana. Car number 3C, it's Cole Schroeder, the Rock and R Restaurant, Sturboat Suspension, ART Enterprises, Don Vanzuela's Auto Body. And the final starter, if he does make the call, don't see him quite yet, is Ryan Timms. And car number 10 for Shane Liebig, the all-by-year alternative, Joe Pigeon Trucking, Hample Oil, CP Excavating, Raw Machinery, number 10. Don't see Tim's yet. They're still rolling out there on the racetrack. Winners Performance has been manufacturing speed parts for the racing industry for over 65 years. Many of the winningest sprint cars in history are equipped with Winners Quick Change rears and driveline components. Visit winnersperformance.com today. Tony Laporta down in the infield. I know you've got your ears on here. And a stat that I have been paying attention to here this week, DJ Netto. He is going to start 4th in this race. He's going to be starting inside of a transfer position. Last night was the 14th time that he has attempted to make a feature here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway's dirt track, but he's never qualified for an A-Main. Can that change here tonight for the 2-time NARC champion? He's got a good shot at it here, I think.
Yeah, they do have the best shot they've had so far right here in this B-Main. DJ talked to me earlier today about just struggling for speed, and I think some people out there might go, yeah, well, no doy. He failed to race his way in or qualify his way in last night, but so much goes into racing on these big half miles. And Chase, you know all about growing up in California and the bull rings that that make that West Coast region so well known for producing really talented elbows up kind of race car drivers. So when you come to a half mile, a big, wide, fast racetrack like they've got here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, DJ Neto, it's not so much, I think, as a driver isn't prepared. It's just that they don't get a lot of time to set their cars up, their engines, their drive lines. So many little things go in to making a race car run well on a big, fast half mile like this. So DJ Neto says they took some time after failing to make the show last night. They went through the car, they worked on some things, they've changed some things, and starting inside a transfer spot means all he has to do is stay where he starts. But man, when you look at this field, it's pretty loaded. That's a lot easier said than done. Once the green flag flies on this thing, it's going to be anybody's guess as to what happens. Look at Hank Davis and Brent Marks, two full-time high rollers in the row right behind that blue and white number 88 of DJ Neto. Those are two full-time national points championship chasing drivers. They have to get in to this A main event tonight. They don't want to start using provisionals this early. This will be an intense B main to see who gets into tonight's feature.
Yeah, it certainly will. DJ Neto, best career high limit racing finish, was 5th place last year at the Kern Raceway in Bakersfield, California. We'll see if he can get in the top 4. 13, make that 14 attempts. 14 non-qualified A-mains here for Neto. We'll see if that changes here. Brian Brown and Robbie Price, a pair of 21s up there on the front row. The Sugar Bee Blackjack Bash continues as we are now yellow. Not going green as we were supposed to right there as the yellow lights flickered back on right before. Tony.
Chase, the other thing that I completely failed to mention, I'm embarrassed to say so, but at the end of last season when Jimmy Carr, very well known, highly respected crew chief, and Dominic Scelzi parted ways. Jimmy Carr had been on Dom Scelzi's team for a very long time, as you see Trent Hetzer with high limit safety pick up that wheel cover. Jimmy Carr left Dom Scelzi's team and teamed up with DJ Neto. One more thing that gives Neto hope that their program is going in the right direction, no matter the size of the racetrack they're competing on.
Yeah, definitely a good guy to have in your corner. We got the debris picked up. Now we are going green on the B main, and Brian Brown will shoot out with the early race lead down the front straightaway. Robbie Price going to give up second to Joel Myers Jr. as he'll slide up the racetrack and move into P2.
You say that as we're Peck yellow again.
I'm not sure what it was.
I think Brian Brown maybe went a little early.
Could be. He definitely was on the throttle a little bit before Robbie Price, that's for sure. We'll see what the question is here, or the answer is, Tony.
Brown failed to make the show last night, and they're going to move him back a row now. Lots of pressure when your nickname is Blackjack Brian Brown, and it is the Sugar Bee Blackjack Bash. So lots of emotions raging, surely,
I'm sure,
inside that Casey's FVP number 21. But Brian Brown, he's a cool customer. He can make it happen still.
I think that you are definitely correct in that. He's going to start third now instead of on the pole. That'll bump Robbie Price to the inside of row 1, and now Joel Myers Jr. to the outside of the front row. And this will be the third attempt at starting this one. We'll see what happens. 12 laps the distance, top 4 finishers to the A main. That looks like an even start, and we're underway.
Yeah, Joel Myers able to be the big winner as he rolls through 1 and 2, able to roll the top now to the lead. Brian Brown trying to get that spot back for Price as Price makes a mistake off 2.
Right, Brian Brown to the inside as Robbie Price tried to go down there. Brown goes right through that door anyways. Back behind 3 wide. DJ Neto around the outside gets by Robbie Price, but Hank Davis on the bottom is going to go by about 3 cars in 1 corner. Davis is now into the 2nd spot.
Yeah, Mark's now into 4th, but Neto able to make that crossover maneuver as it's a battle for 3rd, 4th. As Neto tried to roll the bottom there as he's right behind Brown as Hank Davis right now on the top.
Hank Davis around the outside, closing in on Brian Brown. Meanwhile, your race leader, don't worry about him. Joel Myers Jr., a large lead out front as Mark slides in front of DJ Neto, puts him on the outside looking in. Marks with a run on Hank Davis. Down the back straightaway, goes to the bottom side of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Davis has the cushion wire, maintains that 3rd spot. Now Neto back to the inside of Marks.
Yeah, Neto tried to roll that bottom as there was, Brent Marks able to slip through the grip, but able to recover through 1 and 2 and roll down the backstretch. He currently has it right now into 3.
Brent Marks, and here comes J.J. Hickle around the outside. The black number 6 car out of nowhere is going to be a part of this battle as well. A 3-car battle, that is. Neto back to the inside of Marks. He'll throw a short slider into turn number 1. DJ Neto back into the transfer spot in turn 2.
Neto, that was a big move there. Marks has been struggling in 3 and 4. Now he'll go to the top side as Neto right now running the bottom, able to get decent drive, but Mark's right around the top.
And J.J. Hickle is there as well. If those two start racing each other a little harder, that number 6 machine may be a part of the battle, but now Marks gets a really good corner there and pulls away by 6 or 7 car lengths over the 88 end of DJ Netto. Back up front. Good race going on for second here between Brian Brown and Hank Davis. That place is going to change hands. Hank Davis takes it away in turn 1.
Yeah, Hank Davis, really good run through 1 and 2, able to build that gap off 2 for Brian Brown as we have a change for 5th there. Neto able to cross right back over off turn 2.
J.J. Hickle looking pretty good there in that corner as he's going to slip back to 6th, and he's maybe going to need a yellow here because we're running out of time. 5 laps to go in the winner's performance B main, and Joel Myers Jr. is enjoying a near 3-second advantage at the front of the field in that Hayward Motorsports number 19H. Meanwhile, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th appear to maybe be getting a little bit closer as Marks is certainly closing the gap on Brian Brown.
Yeah, Joel Myers Jr. made a line change and just kind of struggled off 4. We'll see if he does the same. Goes back down to the bottom. The other 3 behind him right now running the top. Same could go for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Everybody around the top, but Joel Myers running the bottom 3 and 4.
Crazy. We saw everybody on the bottom in the dash, and now everybody's mostly on the top here in the B main. The track changing very, very quickly here as Brent Marks has certainly closed in on Brian Brown, and he wants to get off of that bump spot. He has no idea how close DJ Netto could potentially be back behind him. Marks wants to put Brian Brown on that bubble position. That time by 2 laps to go here in the B main.
Brian Brown had a little bit of a stumble that brings Brent Marks into competition here for 3rd as we get ready to come to 2 to go.
2 laps to go. Actually, it's going to be this time. Where is our race leader? There he is, coming around turn number 4. White flag this time by for Joel Myers, and Hank Davis has really closed the gap. Myers had a 3-second lead. It's now down to 1.2. Albeit, I mean, a B main win isn't a huge deal, but Hank Davis showing a lot of speed here late in this B as we'll come to the checker this time by, and Joel Myers Jr. is going to win the winner's performance B. Hank Davis 2nd, Brian Brown 3rd, Brent Marks 4th, and a hard-charging DJ Netto comes up short. He'll end up in 5th with J.J. Hickle back behind, Caleb Montgomery, Robbie Price, Sterling Kling, Austin Wood, Austin Gossel, Ty Gibbs, Gage Polkerbeck be the finishing order here in this one. So Joel Myers, Hank Davis, and Brian Brown and Brent Marks will be heading to the tail end of the feature lineup on night number 2 of the Sugar Bee Blackjack Bash. Good looking race car there for Joel Myers. Debuted that paint scheme here last night. And he'll make his way back to the trailer, make the last minute adjustments to that car. Why do I say last minute? Because the High Limit Racing feature event is the next thing on the schedule here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track. We'll have that, and the dice rolling fan also be down there here in just a few moments after this break.
On row number 1.
Of course, last night's feature winner, that is Kyle Larson. Carson, real quick, just want to hear maybe some of your thoughts before we get underway here. What are you thinking?
Man, I feel really good. I mean, obviously the front row is going to be in contention, but the second row really has some heavy hitters. Obviously, Corey Day, super good, ran 2nd to Larson last night, but Tyler Courtney, they've been struggling a little bit with that car with gremlins and everything, but clearly once they got it out of it, it's got a lot of speed.
It certainly does, as we now begin to fire cars on night number 2. Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track. We got them racked, we got them stacked, and we've got the grandstands packed. Let's go racing off at turn number 4. We are green. Off and running with the feature event here at the Sugar Bee Blackjack Bash. It will be Aaron Wrights with the early race lead. Sliding in front of Kyle Larson, however, is Tyler Courtney, who up to the 2nd spot on the opening lap.
Yeah, don't look now, though. Corey Day with a big slider.
Oh!
Larson with a big mistake, and he'll go around in 3 and 4.
Kyle Larson does a 360, keeps on going. The green lights stay on. We do not go yellow. Larson falls back to the 18th position across the line. Up front, it is Aaron Reitzel with the race lead. Tyler Courtney sitting in 2nd. Corey Day quickly into 3rd. 4th belongs to Rico Abreu, and 5th at this point in time is James McFadden.
Everybody able to get back in their seats after seeing that happen in front of them. But Larson really on the charge. But Tyler Courtney now rolling down the backstretch, trying to hunt down your leader.
Aaron Reitzel looking for win number 1 of the 2026 season with Interstate Batteries High Limit Racing. He'll come by this time by, and he's got a pretty sizable lead. 1.2 seconds back to the 7BC of Tyler Courtney. Most drivers utilizing the top side of the racetrack early on in this race. Reitzel maybe 5 or so laps away from the lap traffic, and that will be what decides this race here tonight as Reitzel comes across the line to lead lap number 4.
Yeah, you see everybody just rolling that top side. Everybody just single file right now. First battle on your racetrack is for 9th. That's Tanner Thorson working the bottom right now on Danny Sams.
Yep, Danny Sams, Tanner Thorson continuing their battle from earlier on in the heat race. Sams has that position as he rolls into turn number 3. That is on your screen now. Also in the mix there is Dason Percy, the Durst Dice Roll driver, as he tries to work the outside around Tanner Thorson.
Yeah, that's your battle for 8th, and as Thorson able to roll the bottom, the only one really working the bottom right now, trying to get that moisture so he can get by Sams for 8th.
And that is the patent of Tanner Thorson. When everybody else is on the top, you can find him trying to run the bottom and make some moves as Brian Brown unlaps himself from Aaron Reitzel. Reitzel had just gotten by Brownie in turn number 2. Brown able to cross him back up. That's going to impede the progress on the number 87 car. Tyler Courtney getting closer and closer. Last time by it was 1.6 seconds. Now it's under 1 second the race lead.
Yeah, Brian Brown cut off the nose of Reitzel off of 4. That really cost them. They're double wide in front of him. That's Hank Davis, and Joe Myers is in front of him. That's going to really hold him up. Tyler Courtney almost to the back bumper already.
And here comes Corey Day and Rico Aber about to have a 4-car scrap for the race lead. Day off the bottom, pulls up next to Tyler Courtney. He'll go by him for second into turn number 1. Corey Day takes second. Close call for Reitzel. That's going to allow Corey Day a huge run down the back straightaway. He'll take the lead.
Yeah, new leader, Corey Day rolling the bottom. Reitzel struggled getting by Hank Davis. Our lap cars, Hank Davis rolling still on the top. Going to be in the way for Reitzel, who'll go down to the bottom to follow Corey Day.
Car off the pace into the infield is Brian Brown. We will stay green, and Corey Day now has a lap car between himself and Joel Myers as Tyler Courtney. He goes right by Aaron Reitzel down the back straightaway. Moves Sunshine up into the second spot, and here comes Rico around the outside trying to challenge Reitzel for 3rd.
Yeah, all the lap cars making it difficult as they make a lane change right in front of Courtney. Courtney's going to have to go to the top off turn 2.
Oh, close call there as he barely snuck around the 19H of Joel Myers Jr. And now no lap cars between the 14 of Corey Day and the 7BC of Tyler Courtney. And Courtney, excuse me, that is not Corey Day, that is Brenham Crouch. Those cars do look similar. Courtney gets by Crouch down the front straightaway. There is still a car between your top 2. It's Brent Marks as Corey Day really extended the advantage.
Yeah, Corey Day, though, he's got 2 cars in front of him side by side, 3 lap cars all in a mix right now. But Courtney with a struggle a little bit around the bottom, that's opening the gap for Corey Day.
And the cushion is really getting built up in turn 4. We saw Reitzel almost bike up right there on that side of the racetrack just 1 lap ago. Rico Abreu underneath of Reitzel, but Reitzel too good around the outside. James McFadden still running strong in the 5th position. And then Kerry Madsen's up to P6 right now as we got one off the pace. It is the 73 of Hunter Schurenberg. Schurenberg rolling down the front stretch slowly. With 12 laps completed here in this feature, he was running in the 18th position at the time, and he will hang the hard right off the track down the front straightaway and head back to the pit area.
It's going to reset a 2-second lead that Corey Day was able to build up in lap traffic, something Tyler Courtney really needed there as he was starting to struggle compared to Corey Day through the lap traffic there.
And Kyle Larson got to think back to what could have been for him as he went around on the opening couple laps there in turn number 4, kept the car fired, did that 360, kept going, and officials deemed the race was going to stay green. And so he's running way back in the field.
He's already back up to 10th. No, he's back up to 10th.
Yeah, he did fall back to 17th or 18th, so he's definitely gone forward a little bit. Here's Tanner Thorson on your screen. He is up 4 positions so far in this one, and Carson, you mentioned it, he was rolling the bottom, and if you watch a lot of Interstate Batteries high-level racing, you know that Tanner Thorson loves to run the bottom of any racetrack. Right now it's working for him as he's up 4 positions.
Yeah, he was one of the first ones to kind of find that bottom. You know, I watched Chili Bowl a lot, and it always is a race to the top. Well, right there with Tanner Thorson, it was kind of a race to the bottom to who finds it first, especially when they hit lap traffic there.
There is Kyle Larson, and we'll see for the first time this year the new Chasm Safety Products Choose Cone out there on the front straightaway. So drivers either go inside or outside of that choose cone. Whichever way they go, inside or out, is where they will start for the upcoming restart. It does appear that Corey Day chooses the bottom, gives the top lane open for Tyler Courtney. It does appear the bottom may be, the preferred lane in 3 and 4 for Corey Day, but it seems like the top down in 1 and 2 may be where he wants to be at. So we'll see if maybe Courtney being on the top in 1 and 2 can help him out if he gets a good start.
Yeah, there's a lot of moisture right now at the very, very bottom of 4, and hopefully for him, for his sake, there's moisture when he gets able to take off when they hit the restart load.
We'll find out if that is indeed the case. We got 12, make it 13 laps to go here in the feature at the Sugar Bee Blackjack Bash. Oh, contact as Courtney and Reitzel get get together. Reitzel's going to lose a spot as it looks like Rico's trying to go around the outside of him. Reitzel's able to maintain that third position. They're 3 wide. Kyle Larson getting by Kerry Madsen. They're 3 wide again as Larson's getting passed by both Dason Percy and Cy Lynch.
Yeah, that put Larson up to 6 on that restart, but now falls back to 8th, and now through the middle, somewhere similar, but now he's on the bottom and going to be able to take advantage and get 2 for 1 there off of 4.
Tanner Thorson just went by 3 cars in one corner. He went by Persley, Lynch, and Larson. We got one off the pace, and that is Chase Randall in 9R. And so the caution flag waves for the Waco, Texas driver. He was running in 17th. Cannot see any visible damage from here, but he is going to head to the work area, which is located in the infield here. And here's a replay as to what happened on the start here, Carson. It looked like Tyler Courtney really tried to make a lane change there, and Reitzel was right there.
Yeah, I mean, they could see, obviously, they know this better than me, but I saw a little bit of moisture down there for it. Obviously, Tyler Courtney really wanted that moisture there. I'd be curious what he'll pick, if he does pick the front row with this struggle there on that launch.
We'll see what's going on down in the infield with Chase Randall, Tony.
It's a flat left rear tire on the Bush's Chicken 9R of Waco, Texas's Chase Randall. New rule here in 2026, 1 minute guaranteed for only flat tires, and I stand corrected. That is not a flat tire on the left rear. They went to work on the left rear corner, but that Hoosier is up and inflated. Crew Chief Adam Wallace is leaning inside the cockpit of Chase Randall, and they are trying to diagnose this issue, but it is not a flat, which means there is no guaranteed time in this work area for Randall.
Thank you for that update. Yes, that is a new rule in 2026 with Interstate Batteries Highland Racing. Only 1 minute in the work area if you have a flat tire. Quietly, James McFadden's now up into 4th.
Well, I was just going to say, I just happened to see something. You said something earlier in the restart. Thorson, like at the bottom, able to roll 3 guys. He chose and gave up a row to stay behind on the bottom and line up 7th, but that brings up Persley and Larson, gets him an extra row.
That is something that Thorson does tend to do. I mean, he is very committed to the bottom when his car is working down there. Let's see what happens this time. Corey Day really on it early right there, and once again, Reitzel and Courtney bang wheels on the restart, and Reitzel's going to go by for the 2nd spot down the front stretch.
Yeah, Reitzel able to take advantage of that a lot better on that restart. He'll roll into 2nd as McFadden might be able to roll Tyler Courtney as he's on to challenge into 3.
Tanner Thorson makes his way by Rico Abreu, move Thorson into the top 5, and now Rico's getting slid by Dason Persley. Persley takes that spot away. Cy Lynch off the bottom. He'll go by both of them. Move Cy Lynch up to the P6 position now in 42.
Tyler Courtney had a big struggle down the front stretch. He's able to roll back, and now on a challenge from McFadden as he goes to the bottom.
I don't think the race for the lead is over yet either, Carson, as Aaron Reitzel's maintaining the pace here of Corey Day. The question is, can they get to lap traffic? There is still 10 laps to go, which makes me believe that they possibly can, but Reitzel definitely looks like he's running about the same lap times as Corey.
Tyler Courtney, a little bit of a lane change. McFadden now goes to the bottom. Courtney holds it wide open, almost around the top, and he's going to be side by side. Almost had him at the line.
Wheel to wheel into turn 1. James McFadden, a short slider on Tyler Courtney to take over that 3rd position, and Tanner Thorson wants to join the fun as well. He is closing in on the 7BC and the 21. Corey Day, a little bit of a miss on the bottom there in turn number 4. Aaron Reitzel trying to close in, but Corey Day's last lap was just a tick faster than the 87.
Yeah, lap traffic just about a straightaway ahead of your leaders right now. That's really going to dictate that if they get to them just with about 7 to go.
Yep, 8 to go, 7 to go this time. Yes, you are correct, and the traffic is going to come into play, no doubt about that. Cars in both lanes when Corey Day gets there, but Aaron Reitzel may be too far behind. That last time by the lead was 1.6 seconds. The race for 4th is still a good one, as Tanner Thorson took a shot at Tyler Courtney in turn 2. He came up short, still running in 5th, as now Reitzel switched his lineup. He runs the bottom in 3 and 4.
Yeah, Courtney had to be on defense there, but now resets, tries to get back on offense. He'll go down to the bottom a little bit when he saw the nose of Thorson, able to roll the bottom there, trying to make
car
a charge.
big time in the wall in turn 3. Justin Sanders. That car, he absolutely wallpapered it down there in turn 3. You see where he took the mud off the wall down there, right by the FloRacing banner. And smoke billowing out of the 2X for last night's 11th place finisher in the main event. That was right in front of your leader. Corey Day was just about to lap Justin Sanders. And you see the safety team, MedStar and Highland Racing officials are on the scene to check on Justin Sanders. It looks like just from where the car is sitting and how the wing looks damaged, he may have hit it driver's side first. We'll have to wait and see if we do have a comp cams replay to clarify that or not, as the safety officials are down there and going to need the hook for sure on the Demo Mitri owned number 2X car. So Corey Day with the race lead. Aaron Reitzel running in second. Third, James McFadden. Fourth, Tyler Courtney. And fifth is Tanner Thorson. Here's a look at the replay. It'll be bottom left of your screen, I believe. Sanders just got over the cushion, I believe, there. Would love to see that one more time, unless something broke, but it looked like he just got over the cushion and the car just took off on him there. As you're looking, the frame rails are dragging, front end's knocked out of it. The Huber Sutter Aviation 2X car going to need a lot of work here. Carson, he's going to be down here, bottom left of the screen, right there. It just gets over it, I think.
Yeah, it just looked like he was already really high before he even thought about turning in, and then when it did, it just dug in, and he was away, and just a passenger right there.
Exactly. Tony.
It's surprising to see Sanders enter that high over there in 3 and 4. We've seen guys slide up just a little bit and kind of find a rough spot right there through the middle of what you want to call turn 4. Reitzel caught it early on in this race. They let that right rear set down hard on a pretty thin curb around the top of 3 and 4. Chase, you and I talked about it last night. This place shelves off at the very, very top of both ends. So it's a very technical and hard to hit top here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track.
Yeah, one little mistake and you get over the edge of that banking there, you are going for a ride, and that is exactly what we saw happen there with Justin Sanders. We are coming back to the green this time by with just a handful of laps remaining in the feature here at the Sugar Bee Blackjack Bash. Aaron Reitzel, the first couple laps after that restart, was maintaining the pace of Corey Day. We'll see if he can maybe make that happen again. James McFadden third, Tyler Courtney fourth, Tanner Thorson fifth. Here we go, back underway.
Corey Day, big launch off turn 4, but Reitzel trying to match laps or be better. Doesn't have a 7BC on this restart to navigate, but Corey Day with a big lead as they're going to do swap lanes here. Corey Day around the bottom, Reitzel with a big run off forward.
Now, Corey Day is absolutely committed to the bottom of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. That might be his downfall. Reitzel appears to be really stuck on that side of the racetrack. James McFadden having a stellar performance here tonight, running in that third spot. Tyler Courtney fourth and Tanner Thorson still in fifth. Reitzel doing everything he can to track down Corey Day, and it might be working for him.
Yeah, Reitzel able to make a lane change, try to show the no in 1 and 2. Not able to cover it there, but Corey Day, we'll see if he makes a lane change here. He'll go back down to the bottom.
Maybe have been a too early of a move there for Reitzel, but he's still going to have a couple laps to go this time by. It'll be 3 to go to be exact, and Reitzel within 4 or 5 car lengths down the front straightaway. Corey Day plugs the right rear into the cushion, as does Aaron Reitzel. Good race going on for third as Tyler Courtney pokes his nose underneath of James McFadden. This is the corner to watch right here. Day down low, Reitzel on the top this time by. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Corey Day lost it watching somebody run the bottom in 3 and 4. He's doing it now tonight. He's on defense rather than offense here with Reitzel, but able to put a really big gap through 1 and 2 there.
They're coming around the white flag. 1 lap to go. Day a little bit sideways off the corner there. Can Reitzel make a Hail Mary move on the final lap here in Las Vegas? Day around the top. Last night he came up 96 one-thousandths of a second short. That will not be the case here tonight. It's Friday, so that means it's payday. Corey Day wins at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track. Aaron Reitzel second, James McFadden third, Tanner Thorson fourth, and Tyler Courtney fifth.
Man, very impressive from Corey Day there. Just able to kind of take what he saw yesterday in front of him and able to capitalize on it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he stayed committed to the bottom, no question about that, even when it looked like some guys were getting runs around the outside. Behind the top 5, Rico Aber was 6th. Austin McCarl, really good run for him, ends up in 7th. Giovanni Scelzi 8th, Kyle Larson 9th, and Tanner Holmes with a top 10 result. Cy Lynch, Justin Peck, Kerry Madsen, Danny Sams, and Tanner Carrick 15th. Brenham Crouch, Hank Davis, Aaron Reitzel, that is not correct. Joe Myers Jr., Brent Marks.
This track was pretty racy tonight. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'd say it was very, very good. 2 nights in a row, 2 lanes, 1 and 2 really got widened out. Carson, here is a race recap as Reitzel will lead early, but one of the biggest moments of the race happens here in 3 and 4 with Kyle Larson.
Yeah, just a shocking, mistake that we rarely see, but Corey Day just able to get such a huge run. I mean, he was like 5th or 6th off turn 2, and I think it just really shocked Larson right there.
Yeah, may have caught him off guard, that's for sure. Kyle bounces off the infield berm, keeps going, gets the car all wet. wet and muddy, but he kept going. We would stay green for a little bit there, and then this battle would start to happen between Sunshine, Corey Day, both of them trying to track down Reitzel. Reitzel makes a mistake. Corey Day, 10 miles an hour faster down the backstretch, took the race lead away, never looked back.
Yeah, a lot of laps in between, but you heard it after the race. Reitzel able to remember that moment, and that's where he really just lost control of this one.
Tyler Courtney would make his way by Reitzel, and then on this restart, Sunshine tries to make something crazy happen there, gets into the side of Reitzel, and luckily for Reitzel, a caution would come out here just a few moments after this to let him have another chance at that start. Kyle Larson trying to make his way back up through the field. Then McFadden around the bottom. He was kind of quiet in this one, but ends up on the podium.
Yeah, he did a super nice job, especially around the bottom, to able just to sneak spots. Just it wasn't really flashy, but it works out when we look at the scorecard.
Another solid run here for Dason Pursley in that Casey Kane Racing number 9. He ends up well inside of the top 10. Tanner Thorson, very good move there.
Yeah, speaking about rolling the bottom, but Corey Day, obviously, from second, able to inch at it a little bit past the guy who, lost to yesterday early in the race, and then obviously just have a lot of speed and take control of it.
And he's right back where he was at 1 year ago with the victory here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track. We hope all you race fans enjoyed that one. Remember, we do have one more race to come. It's the USCS Sprint Cars coming up here in just a few moments once they clean up Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. Carson, before you head out, man, thanks for doing this. I thought you did a great job. Hopefully the people at home liked it as well, and hopefully you had fun.
Yeah, I had a blast. I enjoy it. I enjoy watching sprint cars, and just who would have known that it's a lot more fun when you get to talk about it. So I appreciate it.
All right, Carson Hocevar, thanks to him for jumping up here and having some fun with us tonight on the FloRacing broadcast. And he is going to head out and have a good race, hopefully on Sunday over there at the big track. Here is a look at the schedule coming up.